The scream echoed through the empty school hallway. It was so sharp, so sudden, that even the bullies who caused it froze for a second. Mrs. Lena Carter, the new literature teacher, tumbled down the cold metal staircase, her papers scattering in the air like frightened birds. Her body hit the floor hard, the sound bouncing off the lockers. And yet, no one rushed to help. Not at first. The three boys, Dylan, Mark, and Jace, just stared, stunned by the consequences of their own aggression. None of them had expected her to actually fall that far. None of them expected what would unfold in the next few hours. Because by the end of the day, 3 principals would enter the school, and all of them would demand the school be completely shut down. The day it began, Lena Carter had arrived only a week earlier, a young, soft-spoken teacher with warm eyes and an even warmer smile. She came from a small town, carrying nothing but a suitcase of well-worn books and a dream of helping troubled students. She noticed right away that something was wrong at Brookside High. Students avoided eye contact, teachers looked exhausted, and the hallways felt heavy with tension every morning. Worst of all, she noticed the trio, Dylan, Mark, and Jace. They roamed the halls like they owned them. Students scattered whenever they walked by. Even teachers paused before confronting them. Rumors said the boys had powerful parents, people who could make a teacher's life very difficult. But Lena didn't believe in ignoring wrong. The confrontation, it happened after school, when most of the building was empty. Lena was carrying a pile of ungraded papers up the staircase when she heard whispers and footsteps behind her. She turned. Dylan smirked. "You think you're better than the last teacher you embarrassed in class?" "I don't think I'm better," Lena replied calmly. "But I do think you're capable of being better." Jace scoffed. "Spare the lecture." Mark nudged Dylan. "Just scare her off." But things escalated too fast. Dylan shoved her shoulder, only a little, only enough to make her step back. But her foot slipped, and then gravity took her. By the time they ran down the steps, Lena was on the ground, her face pale, her breathing faint. They stood frozen, and then a student, quiet, unnoticed Emma, ran forward with tears in her eyes and screamed. "Someone call 911. A school hiding the truth." Lena was rushed to the hospital, unconscious but alive. The principal arrived soon after, Mr. Banner, a man who had more problems than solutions. He didn't scold the boys. He didn't call their parents. Instead, he pulled them aside and whispered, "Do not speak to anyone. Not a word. We'll fix this." Fix. That word hit Emma like a punch. She had seen everything, but she also knew the school's history. Rumors of complaints buried, teachers leaving without explanation, bullies protected by money and influence. She had stayed silent all her life. But not today. Emma's decision. While the principal locked himself in his office, Emma quietly recorded a video explaining everything, what she saw, how long the bullying had gone unchecked, how teachers whispered their fear of retaliation. She posted it online. Then she sent it to the school district headquarters, and to the PTA, and to a certain email contact the students always whispered about, the superintendent's office, home of the 3 most feared educational leaders in the county. The arrival of the 3 principals. By noon, chaos had found Brookside High. 3 black sedans rolled into the school parking lot. Inside were 3 regional principals, officials with the power to shut down any school for violations. Superintendent Harris, Deputy Principal Mendoza, Regional Director Collins. When these 3 showed up anywhere, something was wrong. Very wrong. Students pressed against windows as the officials marched inside with stern faces. Teachers stepped back, whispering. The principal, Mr. Banner, went pale. "Why are you here?" he stammered. Superintendent Harris handed him a folder. "An anonymous student sent us footage. And information you should have reported months ago." Mr. Banner's lies didn't last long. The bullies were called in. They tried to deny everything until they saw the school's hallway cameras replaying the push. Jace broke first. Mark followed. Dylan tried to stay tough, but his voice cracked. "It was an accident. Accidents don't come with months of documented bullying," Mendoza said coldly. "And you?" She turned to the principal, covered for them repeatedly. Mr. Banner's face dropped. The shutdown. By 3 p.m., school was over, but no students were sent home. A loud announcement echoed through every hallway. "All students and staff, please gather in the auditorium immediately." Everyone knew something big was happening. When the 3 principals walked onto the stage, silence fell. Superintendent Harris stepped forward and said, "We have found clear evidence of systemic bullying, administrative negligence, and endangerment of staff and students. Effective immediately, Brookside High will be temporarily shut down for corrective restructuring. Gasps, whispers, shock. Teachers looked relieved, students looked scared, and the bullies, they sank into their seats, the weight of consequences finally catching them. But then Harris added, "This is not punishment, this is protection, for all of you." Lena's return. 2 weeks later, the school reopened with new rules, new supervision, and new administrators. Mrs. Lena Carter walked inside slowly, a cane in her hand, but a smile on her face as students clapped for her return. Emma ran to her with tears. "I'm sorry," Emma whispered. "For what?" Lena asked softly. "For not speaking up earlier." Lena placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You spoke when it mattered most." The bullies, Fate, Dylan, Mark, and Jace were placed in a mandatory rehabilitation program. They cleaned classrooms, attended counseling, and wrote apology letters, not because they were forced, but because the consequences had finally opened their eyes. It took months, but the school changed. The hallways grew calmer, students felt safe, teachers felt respected. Brookside High became something it had never been before, a place where silence was no longer stronger than truth.